Hi friends, welcome to the video. I'm Olivia, and if you've never seen my face before, I am a perfume enthusiast, reviewer, whatever you'd like to call me. Consider subscribing if you're into that sort of thing, and if you are a returning friend, hi friends! So last month, I made a series on this channel where I created a perfume tray for the month, and I put out some fragrances that I was hoping to focus on, so that way I could give you a little bit more in-depth review. So today is the update where I will be telling you all of my thoughts as well as putting together my tray for April. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's get right into the video. First on the list is Dirty Coconut by Heretic. I got a little bit of time to play with this one, and I absolutely am in love with this idea of a coconut that is rich and fatty, but natural smelling. This doesn't smell like copper tone. This smells like a very natural coconut along with some very woody facets. But unfortunately, what I found with this fragrance is that it wasn't terribly long lasting on my skin. Yes, it smells great, but the projection is a little bit minimal. It just doesn't perform in the way that I wish it would. These are plant-based perfumes, so I think that might have something to do with it, where it doesn't have a ton of additives. It kind of smells like a creamy, fatty coconut meat meets wood chips. Sounds bizarre, I really enjoy it, I just didn't care for the lasting power on this one. Next is Dirty Rice from Born to Stand Out. This is such a special fragrance. I think so many people would enjoy this because you've got a really nice almond that's not too sweet. It's got a fantastic nuttiness to it. It also has rice that gives it kind of a calm type feeling, and milk, which gives it a creaminess. This layers like a dream with so many of the fragrances I have. It is such a stunning, stunning fragrance, but also a mass appealing fragrance. I feel like this has a moderate performance. It's not a heavy hitter, but I don't feel like it disappeared too quickly for me. It's a little bit more intimate scent bubble, but I think that makes sense for the scent profile. Milk, rice, almond, those are all very calm, smooth, kind of quieter fragrance notes, so I don't fault it for that. I did get about a 5.5 hours wear, which is average because my skin is pretty dry, so it tends to eat up fragrances quickly, but for layering purposes, I actually really enjoyed this, but not the best performance. It could last a little bit longer. Next is Rose 31 from Le Labo. Now, I've said this in a couple of videos that this has the note of cumin and can smell a little bit like private parts. I don't want to get dinged on YouTube for being inappropriate, but something about that has a slightly body odor type scent. But don't let that scare you, because that cumin goes to the background quite quickly. It doesn't stay around. It's not super apparent. You won't smell dirty when you're wearing this. This is a spicy herbal rose. It's very natural smelling, and let me tell you, the performance on this is immaculate. I would say that it has a medium projection, so it's not a super loud fragrance, but as far as longevity, this lasted about 12 hours on skin, which is fantastic for me. So as it fades and some of those spicy notes kind of take a back seat, you get more of that earthiness, a bit herbal touch. Performance is fantastic. I think it's very, very unique, and I am happy that I have this in my collection. Next is Sandal Sun by Hermetica. This is a beautiful, beautiful, cozy, fuzzy fragrance. It's got hazelnut, it's got vanilla, it's got benzoin, it's got cocoa. So it is slightly gourmand without being overly sweet. It's very powdery on the skin. If you want something that's truly nutty, this is going to be your friend because that hazelnut is very, very prominent. I would say I got about a 6 hours wear, 7 hours wear is pushing it. I didn't mind because this, again, is a little bit more of an intimate type scent. And this also is going to be incredible for layering. Next is Bianca from Perlanera, and I believe I said it before, but this reminds me of Good Girl by Carolina Herrera. They smell very, very similar, to the point where I actually got rid of my bottle because this outperforms it. This lasts so incredibly long. It is just a bomb. It is sexy. It is date night. This also has an almondy touch to it. It's got coffee. It's got vanilla. It is sweet, yet sensual and dark and sexy. I would say that this has a large scent bubble, and this lasts about 11 hours. Every time I bring in people to the salon, sometimes they'll be getting their hair done, their hair colors processing. I'll always show them my fragrances, let them smell around just for some fun. It seems like this one is consistently the one that people are like, oh my God, I am so impressed by this fragrance. Really, really, really good. Sexy, sweet, dark and mysterious. Highly recommend. Next is Raised Spirits by Navitus. When I originally got this, I was a little bit let down because this is simply not as gourmand as it's advertised. You've got dark fudge, caramel, but to me, the pimento leaf in the beginning of this is just so intensely sharp and scratchy. It's very green. The performance of Navitus fragrances is impeccable. I'm talking 14 to 18 hours with a massive projection. Their quality is insanity. And I thought for a long time that pimento leaf and me do not get along. I'm not going to keep this. But I realized something. When I stopped treating this like a gourmand and I started to layer this with more masculine, woody, dark fragrances, it really gave it a lasting power. It gave it something special. So basically, in my mind, I was looking at this as a true gourmand. And that's why I was disappointed. It's not a true gourmand. It does have some masculinity to it. It is a little bit earthy, slightly herbal with that pimento leaf. So once I started treating it like that, I understood the fragrance better. And the dry down of this is special. That's where I start to get a bit of that sweetness. And it is just a cocooning, warm, sexy fragrance. Next is Dear Polly by Wilhelm. This is such a special fragrance. These perform incredibly. I have never had any sort of problems with any of the Wilhelms that I have, and I have 4. The green tea in this is just so calming, but I get a distinctly spicy note out of this. It's got some fruity notes in the beginning. I do not get a lot of fruitiness. I get a spicy green tea with almost an earthy, salty base. It is truly unique. It's hard to describe. We had a lot of rain, and this just took me to such a cozy, grounded place. So this one, I would say that I get about a 10 hours wear with a moderate to slightly large projection. No complaints. Beautiful scent. Absolute 10 out of 10. Next is Moral from Matin Martin, and this is the one that I said smells like Liebe Intense by YSL. It's got a really strong orange blossom vanilla. The projection and throw of this fragrance is enormous. This is a 24-hour wearing fragrance. This is a beast. This is an absolute beast. And I have one other from Matin Martin that is just the same. I mean, just enormous, humongous, huge scents. They are crazy. And this is very, very, very orange blossom dominant. Because this is such an intense performer, I find it a little cloying. I find it a little headache inducing, but it could have been that I sprayed it too heavy, not understanding that these are true powerhouses. So I will say that's probably my error on that part. So with that being said, I want to give this more of a shot. I'm definitely going to keep it in my collection, but if you love YSL Liebe Intense, the one that doesn't have as much lavender in it, because I don't believe that this has any lavender. It is very sexy, I'll give it that. I don't think I understood that sexiness quality of YSL until I wore this, and so many people told me, ooh, God, you smell really good. And of course, because like I said, it projects like, you know, down a football field. It is insane. So if you're looking for power at a decent price, oh my God, I can't recommend this enough. Do not spray it as haphazardly as I did because you will choke yourself. Next is Amouage Opus. This is also a heavy hitter, a good performer. I wouldn't say as intense as the Matin Martin whatsoever, but this really does stick around for a long time. And on the skin, I get a blast of powderiness. The more I wear this, the more powderiness I smell than the woodiness. But you do get a fair amount of woodiness. I wouldn't say it's very feminine. There is this slightly animalic leather touch that I feel like this would be a little bit too much for warmer weather. So this is going to go into my winter category. But for the rainy weather that we had been having, I really enjoyed this. You just have to be ready that it is quite powdery, and it almost has a buttery component. It's not like a dry powderiness, it's like a thick, waxy, powdery woodiness. It's something special. This one actually layers really nicely if you want to spray this as your base layer to make other fragrances a little bit more interesting, a little bit more masculine, but spray lightly because this one is also pretty beastly. Last is Pure Extreme by Micallef. Where do I even start with this one? This is a wedding day fragrance. This is ethereal. This is femininity in a bottle. When I wore this for a few days in a row, I got a little bit more of the floral components, but they are not heavy, they are not mature. I know this has the note of gardenia, but I smell more of like a peony, something that's a little bit fresh and aquatic. It is not overtly floral. They are very soft and delicate. This performs very nicely with a smaller scent bubble. So it lasts all day long, about a 10 hours wear, but it's not a strong projector. And I don't think it needs to be because this is a clean, musky, floral, feminine, ultra clean. It is just so beautiful. I think this might be my favorite out of the batch. It is truly ethereal. It's like a princess would wear this. If you want to smell like your most feminine, put together self, if you want to exude confidence and womanliness, this is the one. It is so stinking beautiful. I am so happy that I had this on the tray as a palette cleanser because I had so many heavy hitters that I was happy to have something that's a little light and fresh. This would be an absolutely beautiful signature scent for anybody who's very feminine. So now that I've gone on about the fragrances from last month, let's go over to my perfume tray and we can set up for this month. I'm gonna try to keep it short so that way this video isn't crazy long. So the first fragrance that I'm going to be putting on my tray is Gris Charnel from BDK. And I actually purchased this from Scent Bar here in Los Angeles. They're actually the storefront of Lucky Scent, which I have a coupon code for if you guys are interested. This is a black tea fig fragrance. It smells like a luxury hotel, but I'll tell you more next month when I review these. So this is the first one going on the tray. Next, I'm so excited because I was sent this by Nest. This is Wild Poppy, and I'm actually newer to their range, so I haven't had an opportunity to wear this one yet, but it smells like a very fresh, floral, fruity fragrance. It smells very fun, so I have a little sample of a different scent from them that I have went through, and the lasting power was great, so I have good hopes for this one. Next, I'm very excited because I was sent an absolute load of fragrances from Navitus, and this one I specifically want to focus on is called Intimus. I've already sprayed it on, and it is so beautiful. It's perfectly masculine and feminine and sweet, so I can't wait to try this one out. Next is such a beautiful one. This is Melody of the Sun from Mancera, and I actually have a dedicated video coming out about this fragrance that's going to be on my Instagram, so you guys can check that out really soon. Next, I actually got my very first scents from Eccentric Molecules, and this is a brand new one that just came out called Molecule 01 and Guaiac Wood. I was sent this from Lucky Scent, and I was actually sent two others from this brand new range, the black tea and the ginger, but this is the one that I would like to focus on this month. Just because they're a newer range, I'm going to sneak another Born to Stand Out fragrance in there, and this is a new one to my collection called Don't Give a, you know. This one is a spicy citrus, and I have not got a chance to wear this yet, so I am going to put this on the tray and give her a little love. And of course, I need to put the new Kayali Yum Pistachio 33 on the tray because this is such a controversial scent. I definitely need to smell this more. I've already tried this one on skin. I personally really enjoy it, but let's see how this blooms because I've noticed a lot of the Kayali fragrances really need time to sit. I feel like they get better over time, so let's see if that's the case with this one. And would we really be in warmer weather without a good coconut scent? So this is the new one from the 7 Virtues called Coconut Sun. I'm hoping that we get some really warm weather so that way I could see how this one shines in the sunshine as I think it's intended to wear. Next is Flamenco from Ramon Monegal. I am definitely just tossing this in here because I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I want to wear it more. I want to give you guys more details because this is a beautiful, fruity, rosy fragrance. It's quite powdery. I want to see what all I can get out of it in some really good wear. So we're going to put that on there. And because I feel like I have pretty much all niche and expensive fragrances over here, not all of them are like expensive, but I'd like to put on something that's a little bit more cost efficient. These are inexpensive. You can get them at Target. And this is Pacifica Flower Moon. This smells really pretty and I want to give this a little bit more wear. I feel like this could be a really great day-to-day sweet floral fragrance, but I want to be able to tell you guys more details about it. So that is going to be the last one on the tray. So there you guys have it. This is my brand new tray for April. Hopefully this video doesn't go on too long. If you haven't already, make sure that you're subscribed so that way you can see my videos every Saturday, 10 a.m. PST when they come out. And until next Saturday, bye friends.